Dali. My name is Matt Nolan and I live in Mullingar, but I'm a native of North Galway. And I have been working in Mullingar with the Department of Fisheries for over 40 years. But I am connected to Ballymahan because I'm associated with the Londavant twinning group here and with a great group of people, some of them who are here in the group this morning. So I'm harvat weirdo shoot. I have a little piece that I want to share with you. It's about fishing from the bridge back in my own native place in North Galway. And I hope that it's a little bit funny and that there's a bit of realism about it as well. It's called Fishing from the Bridge. There is very little Viking blood in me, as far as I know. But when the days start to get longer and TDs begin to think about taking holidays, I find myself getting an urge for the sound of rivers running through rocks and for the squeak of oars over gunwales of boats. There's a cure, I'm convinced, in the sound of a river. Its rhythm quietens the mind so that jagged thoughts no longer dart around in there like fork lightning. I usually head off around the middle of May to my home place of old in North Galway, where the River Shiven meanders its way through rich callow land just above Ballygar. This is great fishing territory, especially in May when the river becomes alive with mayfly and trout go on regular frenzies of feeding frenzies at evening time. I have some great memories of this river ever since I was a young lad, and especially at evening time when the rattle of horses' carts going home with the last load of the day and the rasping sound of the corncrake seemed to be so much part of that place. I still love to fish there, especially that section of river below Island Case Bridge. For me, though, the real treat of a day's fishing is to stand on the bridge with a group of local experts who fish there on summer evenings and on summer afternoons in particular. If ever I take up fishing seriously, it will be the type of fishing that's done from the bridge, as it's the type of fishing where the catch doesn't matter. A fly fisherman in green waders and a porridge hat, decorated with an assortment of flies and carrying a collection of the most up-to-date split-cane fishing rods, for instance, has little in common with the men who fish from the bridge. Our fly fisherman is a different kettle of fish altogether, for when he goes to fish, he knows what it's about. He does not wait for something to happen, but rather he plans each fishing trip with the precision of a dental surgeon, striving to know his river as best he can, studying the light and the wind, and he must have the right flies, not any sort of fly, but the right one for that day and for that place and for those conditions. He wants to catch fish, not any kind of fish, but a particular type of fish. For instance, when he fishes for salmon, he fishes for salmon. And when he fishes for trout, he fishes for trout. He is, you could say, dedicated and committed. He knows what he wants and nothing else will do. But the men who fish from the bridge at Island Case above Ballygar are in a different category altogether. They usually arrive not all together, but in dribs and drabs, and it will depend on who's playing on the local football team, or if the day is suitable for baling hay. Sometimes the bridge fisherman may bring a supporter whose duty includes giving encouragement to the others when someone catches a fish, and he may issue instructions in relation to the right amount of pressure to keep on the line and how landing procedures are to be handled from time to time. The bridge fishermen are never too worried about their angling catch or angling returns. They are grateful for anything that comes their way: a perch, a pike, roach, even an eel. For them, fishing is a lucky dip, and when one of them brings up a cluster of weed or grass, they console each other with the thought that the big catch is coming next. And they are never disappointed, even when they catch nothing at all. They just gather up their meagre tackle when the light begins to go, explaining to each other as they walk home that the fish weren't taken today. In much the same way as a comedian finding that his jokes are falling on stony ground will blame everything but his material. I notice too that the element of cutthroat competition is almost completely absent from the bridge fishermen. There is no envy to speak of. If a man on the other side of the bridge is doing a little bit better, it's not a question of greater skill, but the luck of the draw. All the bridge anglers use the same bait and much the same tackle, so it's a question of once the lines are in the water, the rest is up to the fish. Moreover, for I hope I'm not giving the impression that the anglers on the bridge do not catch fish. I have seen them myself. I have watched them stiffen like a pointer dog, reel in the line, and grab a wet, slimy pike with bare hands and twist the boblick spoon bait from the jaws of the great fish before releasing him back into the river again. My friends on the bridge like catching fish, though you mightn't think this when you see them in action. But they are not pushed one way or another, and they do as much talking about the ones that got away as a sales manager might do on a bad day at work. The bridge fishermen are not fishing for a living or for food or even for the pride and glory. They're fishing just for the fun. And not so much for the fun of fishing as for the fun of being on the bridge over their great river and being part of the chat and the banter that's so much part of that scene. And I don't know what my friends on the bridge think about when they're fishing there, but I am certain of one thing, that they don't think of insurance policies, floating exchange rates, bank overdrafts, or extraordinary general meetings. Definitely none of those are on their minds. For the river is the oldest of psychiatrists. It flushes out routine, bad thoughts as it flushes out pools among the rocks. It cuts us free from that unending profit and loss assessments that seem to be so much part of everyday living now. It gives the mind time to stretch and to relax. Fishing, no matter where it happens, is great fun. But for me, the action on the bridge at Island Case, just above Ballygar, can't be beaten. Come on.